Hey everybody, you're listening to the CrossFit Bangor podcast, episode 9. This episode is kind of an impromptu conversation I had with Coach Tiffany before closing up shop on Friday. Has some good gems in it. A little disclaimer, the audio is not quite the best. I overcompensated. My voice is a little quiet. Tiffany's is a little loud, so I apologize for that. Kind of stick with us while we learn this whole process. This is still pretty new to us, but I still want to keep it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff. I think it's a little funny and some fun stuff to learn in this podcast, so I hope you enjoy listening. Again, I apologize for any of the listening inconveniences, but I hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Actually have some topics?
We got some topics.
All right, cool.
We got some topics. Can you read my handwriting there?
No.
Probably not.
You made fun of my handwriting on the last
know.
podcast.
Wow, it's been a long
the
day.
End of Tony's podcast. It has been a long day.
But we're still here. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, need a hug today? Are you doing good?
I mean, always, but
Okay.
I think we can make it through with that one.
All right. After.
All right.
Always after.
Yeah. What are we looking at here?
Some common myths.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
common myths.
So either
About CrossFit.
some CrossFit common myths, maybe some weightlifting common myths.
Yep.
Reasons people don't start or they put off starting, or maybe before they push the intensity or start adding some weight. So we're going to debunk some common myths. I've heard a lot throughout my CrossFit career.
Yep.
I don't know what you've heard, but
I've probably heard
I heard,
most of the
maybe if you do CrossFit, colors will be brighter. That's a myth.
same. Colors will be brighter.
I don't know. I can see pretty well, but no, colors will not be brighter. You can still do CrossFit.
You can see better now.
Yep. I can see clearly now.
The rain has come.
Let's talk about maybe the first one that I hear, because I'm starting to do a lot more on-ramps. So I'm getting a lot more of the new people that are coming in the door that either have been working out for a while on their own, coming in because they need to be challenged now. And I put off starting because I wasn't in shape for CrossFit. I wasn't good enough shape to do this.
Yeah.
And I always think, what a honest thing to say, first of all.
Right.
But why would you want to feel like you had to be the best at something before you even started it?
Yeah, I don't know why CrossFit is kind of alone in this.
I don't know if it's because they see the games and they see the best of the best first, or maybe you guys didn't get to see all of our struggles prior to stepping into our class, or maybe seeing your fellow classmates work out in class. Like, wow, that's where I've got to be. Not so. You didn't see all the hard work and everything that person put into their workout before you arrived that day. You didn't get to see their struggles. You didn't get to peek behind the curtain of their experience. So you do not have to have any prior knowledge of any lifts or even what CrossFit is in order to come in, because we will actually take the time to teach you and answer your questions and let you dabble in things and try things before you add some intensity. So having to come in and be in really good shape is not necessary. We're gonna, whatever your goals are, we're gonna help you achieve those goals here.
Right.
If you have some experience prior to, that's great. That'll help, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I think people, I think they have a hard time because they I think the best analogy I could give right now would be like, I'm not gonna play, in like a hockey game until I learn how to skate. That makes sense.
Yes.
But I think people look at a CrossFit class as the hockey game when in actuality it's like learning how to skate.
Yep. It's practice.
Exactly.
It's not game day every day for us. It's always practice.
Right. So I think if we can get that misconception out there, and I get it, it's hard. It's super intimidating to come into the gym, especially when you're kind of thrown in a class with people of all age groups and all skill levels. It's kind of hard to put yourself out there, and I think it's super brave that people do, because I was scared too. And I even came in to the CrossFit gym having done CrossFit for a couple of years before ever actually going to an affiliate. So even then, like even knowing what I was doing, kind of, at least
I know what an AMRAP is.
I knew what a snatch was, like really not like what you would think, like what a snatch actually is,
Right. Okay.
And I still was scared.
Yeah, I was too. And I came from a strength training background, so I knew something about weightlifting.
Yeah.
But intensity came with time. Newer movements, clean and jerk. I mean, I knew what they were, but doing them doing them correctly, it took some time. It took some failing. Took me being stuck at one weight for a very long time. Don't know if I maybe didn't have the right shoes. For more information, listen to the podcast right to before this one, maybe.
I mean,
on
that was
gear.
the reason why you sucked. It's the shoes.
I didn't have the right shoes.
I mean, that's honestly, like, it's everything. That's not
is.
a myth. A myth is everything. Shoes are everything, not myths are everything. I like this one. It gets easier. Like as if all of a sudden, like 10 years down the road, like, oh yeah, the Metcons are easy now.
Oh man.
It's super. I actually think it's the opposite. I think I can hurt so much more now than I could because at the beginning, because I really didn't know what it was like to actually hurt.
Right.
Like every workout, I still get nervous before every single one. So if you're hoping that the little pre-WOD jitters go away, I'm sorry, they don't.
No.
I mean, for some people it might. For me, absolutely not. Like even today, I was like, oh,
yeah.
like,
Everyone's always asking for one more bathroom break. Are we going now?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going now. We have to start. We have to do this together.
And I think the more you do it, the more you realize how it's gonna hurt. Like squat snatches and pull-ups. Like, oh yeah, I know exactly how this is gonna go.
So we're talking about today's workout. Yeah, if it's something really simple, if it's 2 movements, whenever I see air squats, I think, oh no, this is gonna hurt. Like in the beginning, I thought, oh, air squats, this is awesome. It's gonna be easy. I have no weight. I can move quick. And now I think, oh man, I got to move that much faster now.
Yeah, and I like simple too. And I think that's another thing that comes up a lot is, that workout wasn't too hard. It's like,
did we do the same
for
workout?
For the most part, I don't think I've ever seen like a programmed CrossFit workout that was easy.
No.
You know what it was? You probably didn't go fast enough, and that's the deal. That's another myth. That more is better.
More is not better.
I tell you what. If you take simple workout, 7 rounds every 3 minutes, run 400, and then what was it? 12 toes to bar. If you run a 400.
Are you talking
like,
about the one where you lapped me?
Oh, yeah.
You were
No.
Zach was lapping me. Guys, he was.
No, but if you run, like legit run, don't pace it, and then do your toes to bar as fast as you can, unbroken or not, you are going to be you do not need to do anything more than that. And
you'll be hurting for certain.
Absolutely. And that's even a lesson I've learned as I've gone on. I've gone through the whole deal of like, I came into it, and I'm just being super competitive in general. The first workout I ever found, I didn't know this. I kind of messed up.
Okay, I want to elaborate on this because I messed up my first workout too on my own. You go first.
Well, first of all, the first CrossFit workout I ever looked up was on a competitor's blog.
Oh, perfect.
I didn't know there was such a thing as like a competitor's blog or CrossFit.com. So it was like
that's the
50,
hardest
back
CrossFit
squats,
ever.
and then you're gonna run 3 miles. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, okay, I'll start with filthy 50. And I honestly, I don't remember like what entails in filthy 50 anymore. But basically, it's 50 of a bunch of movements. Like every CrossFit movement ever, you do 50 of them. And I remember, I think I spent an hour on it. I treated it like your like classic like machine rotation.
Oh yeah.
Like I did a couple pull-ups and I'd rest and I maybe send a text message and then I'd do some more
sit
pull-ups.
Down. Did you take a rest?
And I was like,
Did you sit down?
This is taking forever. This sucks. And then I was like, I looked at like the times in the comments and I'm like, wait a minute, I was supposed to time that?
Because this took me an hour.
And I still have to do like a 5K and like 800 back squats.
I'm gonna be
and
here all day.
And so I think that was not a good way to start. And then I go back to doing 1 workout a day, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta do more, and then I feel horrible, and my hormones are all messed up, and then I'm overeating because I'm so exhausted, and then I go back. So we ebb and flow, even 5 years in. Even though I'm one of the more inexperienced coaches in terms of like how long I've been doing this compared to most of you guys, I've still even had times where you think I would know better and I still don't.
You've got to dabble in it every once in a while.
It's hard.
And the same thing, like saying that walking in is intimidating. We don't know until we're in it that, oh man, we did too much.
Yeah.
I immediately regret this decision.
It's always a Monday where you walk into my office and you're like, hey, you want to go do like bench and then dips and then pull-ups and then chin-ups and then you want to strap a band to your butt and then run a 5K? I'm like, okay.
You're like, yes, that sounds like an awesome
idea. You want
idea.
to put bands on everything.
I do.
And I'm like, I think pull-ups are hard enough. I don't need to put a band around my neck and try to make it.
That was a good
it
day.
Inverted. And then like, okay, then we're going to do a Metcon and then we'll have this. And then the next day, come Thursday, yeah, Zach, I'm not gonna work out. Then Friday, so, I didn't work out today either. And then Saturday, I'm like, oh, you want to work out? And you're like, well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
And it's just this
it's a vicious cycle.
You kind of go through. I'm like, on Monday, I'm like, I need to wear a helmet. I need to like prepare
for the hurricane.
For you to come in, for the hurricane squirrel to come in. And I'm
always.
just hoping you don't break anything in my office or break me in the process.
I'm also really excited to share this story because you said you mentioned you messed up your very first CrossFit workout and you did filthy 50 in an hour. So mine was, and then we'll get back on track with more common myths, was Fran. And so we know Fran, everyone knows Fran, 21-15-9, the thrusters and pull-ups. Mm-hmm. Globo Gym. That was my first workout. So
was
Globo
that an affiliate?
No, it was a Globo Gym situation. I was,
you just looked it up.
I looked it up and I was like, this doesn't look too bad. So you remember the old Gravitron pull-up machine where you'd adjust the weights and you could do more or less your body weight.
Gravitron.
Yeah.
You did Fran.
Oh yeah, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. So awesome. I start out. I do 21 thrusters and I'm like, okay, that's not so bad. I do 15 pull-ups. Because I didn't know any better. It gets better.
Wait, so you're already messing up.
I already messed up.
Oh, great.
Yep.
I love
it. 15 pull-ups, and then I did 9 thrusters, and then I stopped because I thought I was done. 21-15-9.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it took me like 3.5 minutes.
Fran. Can we do that?
We can do that, and we can do Invisible Fran. Amazing. You guys have to remind me. We'll do that in the warm-up someday. Not awful.
I feel bad so many times when I don't... And on ramp, it's really hard because you have this mindset of like you have so much. How many years of experience?
Oh, I've been coaching for 5. I've been doing CrossFit for 8, and then so strength training beyond that.
I have 5 years, right? And you like, okay, 21-15-9 means you do 21 of thruster and then the 21 pull-ups. Well, most people don't think that way, so they're like coming in, and I feel bad when they're doing like they did like 10 pull-ups and then they go to like do like 8 thrusters and then they go back and do
they mix and match it a little bit.
I'm like, they're like, I'm doing it. I'm like, no, you can't.
It's not just 45 reps, however you want to do it.
It's the same thing with like, all right, we're gonna do 10 back squats and we do like 4 and then put it back.
Yeah,
and then do 2. I'm like, no, that's not.
No, it adds up to 10.
I feel so bad. He's like, I need to explain this better.
Yeah,
because I was the same way. I did the same exact thing. I remember when I first learned how to snatch. And I didn't have the shoulder mobility, so I thought you just kept going wider. So I put my hands like out by the collars.
Did it go behind you? Did you just totally just do it like?
I had so many times because I just thought like I didn't.
You
have
need
the
helmet.
Yeah, I do need the CrossFit helmet and the CrossFit cup or whatever, like the snatch cup.
We didn't even talk about that.
You don't understand how many times I hit
your head, like full on forehead,
my junk, my belly button.
Okay, this is getting weird.
With the snatch, I mean the
my God. Okay,
you know what I'm talking
Common
about.
Myths. Yeah. Common myths. We got to get back on track here.
Yeah, we are on track. Yeah, no, that was good times. Good times. I need to pull up my. I have like the first time I snatched 135, and I think I danced. It was probably the ugliest thing.
The first time I did my PR weight, and it was 135. That was like a big number.
Yeah.
I dropped the bar and I cried, and my coach at the time came running over because she thought something bad happened, and I was like, I'm just so excited right now. I'm just so excited. She was like, oh my God, I thought you hurt yourself. And I was like, no, I did it. Yeah. And I hoped everyone saw it.
There were so many times too where I would like do bench because it was on the comp. Of course, like I'm.
That competitor thing that took you
where without an on ramp by myself, still not knowing. Well, I didn't really lift before CrossFit, so I would do bench by myself, but I'd put clips on.
Oh, that's a horrible idea.
And I'm like by myself in this gym, and I
little
fail,
help, please.
And I'm like, oh no, what do I do?
So for those of you,
roll it to my hip and sit up with it.
If you're listening and you're benching by yourself, so. We always, for your safety, say put clips on your bar, except if you're benching alone. And here's why. You can tip the weights off of one side onto the floor, and then
Please
you
don't
tip.
do this.
Don't do this.
This is last ditch effort. Please, for the love of God, do not start doing this on a regular basis.
No, but this has been the more you know.
Yeah.
With Tiffany and Zach.
Tiffany and Zach. Oh boy.
Okay, let's
Does that say getting juiced on a whiteboard?
Getting injured.
Oh, injured. I thought we were about to talk about like steroids.
No.
Yeah, that's like that goes with CrossFit, right? That's what you do.
No, we're not getting juiced, but we are also not going to get injured.
Before we started this.
Oh man, I should have written that a little bit more clear. Oh, they're going to be like, you're so loud. And so let's talk about getting injured. So that's a common myth.
Oh, that the minute you do CrossFit, you like walk in the door and like break your foot or something. He's just like he's just like walking and trip over like
the threshold of the door.
Yeah, like the mat that says CrossFit.
That's the thing I hear a lot. Oh, you do CrossFit? Oh, well, my doctor said that's really bad for my shoulders. I should never ever do it. Okay, well, CrossFit is not going to injure you if you take the proper precautions and you scale appropriately and add intensity over time.
Yeah.
You cannot make your body do things it is not prepared for and not strong enough yet. And not saying to an athlete, you're not strong enough to do this movement is a slight to them in any way. It means we want you to focus on things. We want you to focus on the correct movement first before we start adding a lot of weight or we're trying to go really fast. And I commonly, and you probably say the same thing as does Mel and the other coaches, practice makes permanence. Every time you practice, you're going to practice the movement the exact same way, moving to your best range of motion. Yeah. We want to reduce your risk of injury. We do not want you to accrue any injuries. However, life happens. You hit yourself in the forehead with a barbell. Hopefully you aren't concussed. Hopefully you're not concussed. You know who you are. You know who the president is. But saying if little hangups happen, let's navigate around them. We got to be able to. We can help you with that. So little things happen. What we do is inherently risky, I would say. Heavy weights, moving fast.
Yeah, but
it's inherently risky.
Running a 5K is risky.
Exactly.
I think that's crazy. I find it insane.
I find I have to defend what we do sometimes.
You're defending CrossFit. In the meantime, people are destroying their feet running half
and
marathons.
Knees and hips.
You see it all the time. Like, oh, I'm doing a half marathon. Oh, have you trained for it? No, I'm just gonna do it. I've run a few miles before. I've run a 5K before for charity, right? And it's like, okay, but that does not. I don't see that getting demonized quite as much as CrossFit does.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's funny. It's not CrossFit that's hurting people. It's ego that's hurting people. And
I would agree.
I'm not talking about just in this gym. Because our injury rate is so low. And honestly, the injuries I see in here come most of the time from like, I went to a trampoline park and with my 4-year-old and I accidentally hurt myself or whatever, you know, like, or, like the Spartan races and stuff like that.
I tried to jump through fire.
Yeah. I was
got
electrocuted and chased by sharks and I fell down a mountain. No.
That's
legit.
Those
things are great.
I think that's a real thing that happened.
And I'm not demonizing half marathons or Spartan races or going to a trampoline
No, again,
park.
It's something that's inherently risky.
Yeah, everything's inherently risky, but it's the ego that we're talking about. If you see like on Instagram or like, stories of people hurting themselves, it's probably someone that was doing something way too intense or way too heavy, way too soon. And they're not ready for that. And that's why we get so hard on people, and that's why it's important. I mean, that's why we even have an on-ramp in the first place. What other gym do you go to where you have to go through a beginner's course?
Right.
You don't go to Planet Fitness and have to go through a course on how to use the machines.
No.
You can hire someone to teach you.
Yes.
But like you can go over there and start paying $10 and eat bagels and pizza and start working out on the machines, and there's no requirement for like, I got to teach you how to do the elliptical.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, look at the elliptical. Rant, mic drop.
That one gets me fired up.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Getting injured, I mean.
Maybe if we were getting juiced, we wouldn't be getting injured.
Yeah,
okay, that's
totally not
we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have on here. Oh, this one's my favorite.
I know. I think you're talking about the same one.
I think we are. We're talking about, yes.
Say it in 3, 2.
Getting bulky.
Yeah, I knew it. Bulky.
So
this is my favorite one to answer, but I want you to start.
This is my favorite one to answer. So if you come to, no, it's my favorite. I'm going to shut your mic off.
Okay. You can't do that.
I got a world-class reach. Watch me.
No, don't touch it.
Don't slap my hand away.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So if you come to CrossFit Bangor, you know Coach Tiffany here. So I'm not a bulky athlete. I'm tall. It's been really actually very difficult for me to put on any amount of size. I'm not actually built to be a very bulky female athlete.
Right.
I've worked very hard at it. It's been a personal goal of mine. Everyone's got individualized goals. And that's always been one of mine. So when I'm approached, and I will speak from experience, and it might be mostly female athletes, and they'll say, I don't want to do CrossFit. I don't want to get bulky. I want them to like take a step back and look at my physique in the most, modest way and be like, do I look like a very bulky person to you?
Right.
I don't. I might look like I lift weights. Maybe I look like I work out. I might do some running, but I don't appear as a very bulky person. You have to train very specifically and very, very hard for a very long time, especially as a female, and you have to eat. You have to fuel those muscles. And unless that is your goal, and that's a great goal, that's not going to happen overnight. Some physiques will put on muscle a little bit faster, and we can't help that. I can't help the way I'm built. You can blame it on my parents, okay? But that's something I hear very often. And I'll hear it from gentlemen as well. I don't want to get bulky. And that's fine. We're not going to train you that way. If that's your goal, then maybe the prescribed weight for movement is heavier than what you want to do. Let's back off the weight a little bit. We don't have to train that way. If you don't want to get bulky, we're not going to train that way.
Right. I think people underestimate how hard it is to actually get bulky, because my comeback is always like, look at me. Am I bulky? No, I've been trying to get bulky for 5 years.
You're like, I'm not bulky? You're like, I'm trying
so hard to get bulky. And I think if talking from a guy's perspective, I think most guys are like, they're the opposite. They're trying to put on size, and I think they underestimate. It's not like what you see on TV. You're not going to do this for 3 months and all of a sudden have 22-inch arms. Like, no. I wish that's how it went. You know, if you look at Tony, Tony's a decade of hard work and lots of food and lots of like very specific eating for what he wants. And if that's what you want, you're going to have to dial in not only your training, but what you're eating, and realize that you're limited to what your body's going to do. Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest thing that we can come across is, one, it's not going to happen unless you want it to.
Yes. First of all, I love that you said that. Yeah. Like, it's a possibility. Anything's possible, but you've got to have that as your goal, and you've got to focus on that.
Exactly. And second is, be happy with who you are and what you're given, and then optimize the crap out of it. And I think that's why I love CrossFit, in terms of there's no mirrors. We're not really focused on physique as much. Now, granted, we all want to look better naked. That's a if you say, hey, it's true. If you say you don't, oh, come on. Like, we all deep down, we want to look good. It's good. It's confidence. Like, we all want to look and feel good. But I think what's great about CrossFit is we focus so much on the training that if you trust that if your squat goes up, your 2K row goes up, your 1 mile run goes up, if all of those things about fitness goes up, you're probably going to look better. And if you eat right, so I think focus really well on the training, focus really well on eating well, and your body's going to flourish for its capacity for what it wants to do, and allow that to happen. Yeah. I've tried for 5 years to do something to my body that it just doesn't want to do. My mom's 4'11", my dad's 5'8", my mom weighs 99 pounds, okay? I just don't think it's in the cards for me. I don't have Gronk's parents, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's... And I try to take it from the unfortunately to the fortunately, where like, okay, cool. No, I'm not, 205. My arms aren't busting out of the seams of my shirt, but I can utilize my training and my style for like, okay, cool. But I can do a lot of pull-ups. I can move really well. Yep. I got to take the best of what I want. And I think that's going to be good for me.
And I love what CrossFit gave to me in that aspect, and we can always elaborate this on at another podcast. But I'd done some figure competitions many years ago. So
I don't think people did. We talk about that in your podcast?
We might not have.
Apparently, in your podcast, they couldn't hear you. So
no. I know, I do like to whisper.
And I'm like screaming, like,
eating the microphone.
Per usual.
No, so and we can circle back around again. I did fitness competitions. I did figure for the United States Bodybuilding Federation. So they wanted a muscular female, and I always wanted something to train for. So that was one of the things I did. And I did not have the physique for it. I just didn't. But like you said about your family, my genetics, my parents are both 6 feet tall and sinewy. We're thin. Just a thinner build. So that was my genetics, and I love to optimize what I can do. I like to push myself, but this is what I've got, and I'm super happy with it. I'm so pleased at what my body does for me every day that I show up to the gym. Yeah. And I just, like you said, you're optimizing your best qualities. Right. So physique figure was not for me. Didn't go well. Yeah. I'm a little awkward on stage.
Did you break the mic?
No, I didn't.
Did you break the stage?
No, but I was a little awkward on stage.
You were what?
I was a little awkward.
A little awkward?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine though. That's scary.
Didn't break anything.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
But
imagine.
So yeah, some common myths. It's always kind of fun to dabble in that and kind of, well, what keeps you from optimizing your best quality here? I don't want to get too bulky. Well, we're not going to train you that way. Yeah. Are you really built to be bulky? Maybe, but let's optimize your best body. Okay. Be your best version of you. Yeah. And come in and like, just bring it every day and be thrilled for every time you get to try something new or it does something new for you. Be excited about it.
Yeah. And focus on your performance too, in terms of eating. Like, you'd be surprised that sometimes eating more is going to like reap better results for you because you're training better. Yep. So it goes back to the intensity piece, like I was talking about. If you're eating in this mindset of like, I want to look good, I want to get really skinny and really thin, your training is going to be horrible, and you're not going to be able to push, which means you're not going to get any of that intensity. There's just the magic. So it's like people like especially like carbs, like, oh no, I can't have carbs. Like imagine if you added like a couple white rice in your diet, or what if you can't do rice, like I really can't do rice that well. I like a couple potatoes, what that can do for your training. Oh, like two date rolls like before your workout, like an hour before. I love those things. Those little like poopy
what are they
looking
from?
things.
Where are they from? Was it?
I get them from Hannaford. They like coconut date rolls.
They hide them. You guys, they hide them. They're delicious. They're hidden underneath the bananas.
Like, ask for them. Yeah,
the bananas.
Yeah, and grab some bananas too. You'd be surprised how much, if you just add those in, you're not going to get bulky. No. You're going to train better and actually probably look better. And I think that's a misconception too with people see, first of all, on Instagram, people they look 20 pounds bigger. Not necessarily like necessarily on the fat spectrum, but like a girl that's really lean on Instagram is going to look like they think they're like 170 and 5'9", like my physique is like, no, they're actually really small.
Smaller,
they're actually really small. Yep. And they're not bulky. They're lean.
Yeah.
If you don't want to look like that, you don't have to. These are top athletes. Like they're training to optimize performance. So no, if you don't want to be that body fat and look that way, that's fine. But also don't kind of throw shade on them for trying to reach their goals.
For their
too.
Genetics. They look that way because of based on how their parents look.
I don't think you should shame anyone, but really someone that's putting that much effort into their body and you're shaming them for it. Yeah. Like I get it. You don't want to look like that, but that brings me
that brings you down.
Another level of frustration.
Zach's gonna rant.
Oh man,
Zach's gonna rant. Rant number 2.
When men are talking about it that way,
you can talk about how big my traps are. Bring it.
I think they're amazing.
Bring it.
Bring it.
What else? What else we got for common myths?
Do you have any other myths?
I don't think I have any other myths.
No.
It's cliquey. I don't know. Maybe that's something that comes up. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's supportive. I've never felt so supported in my life when coming into the gym to work out.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of nice.
I think too, it's important to know that CrossFit is for anybody, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I
respect that. If you try it and you're like, I'm going to give it a fair shake. I'm going to give it like 3 or 4 months. And if I just don't like it, then, because of whatever reason, either it doesn't fit into your schedule or you want to work out longer, you want to work out shorter, you don't want to be coached, you just want to come in and do your own thing, then that's fine. I honor and I respect that decision.
Right.
If you come in and try it twice and it's not for you, maybe you didn't give it a fair shake, but I don't know. I can't judge. Maybe you had a bad experience. Maybe it's just not for you.
Yeah. I think 3 months.
There's a learning curve.
Probably good.
Yeah.
And honestly, like having seen people come and go, the biggest thing, it's usually not the training. It's like that emotional connection. Mm-hmm. They didn't come in with anyone. And I think that's really hard.
Yeah.
I think the people that really flourish here is the people that kind of find their group, find their class, and they stick to it.
Yep.
There's some people that roam, but if they can find a group of people, or they came with someone else, those people tend to really flourish because
the buddy system always works well. Yeah. If you started on ramp with somebody, you tend to kind of gravitate towards that same person, and you might attend classes together, and you're double the chances of meeting more people because now there's 2 of you. Yeah. So that's kind of nice to kind of get your group.
That's a big tip I'd give to anyone that's like coming into this thing, or if they're listening right now and they just started with us. Make a friend and like put yourself out there. It's scary. I understand that, but introduce yourself. And honestly, our members are so good at introducing themselves to people they don't know anyway.
And that's something I support when they get into class. I always say, everyone's going to kind of take care of you. Yeah. If you don't know where equipment is, or you're not quite sure what's happening, somebody's going to come over and help because everybody that walked through the door, has gone through on-ramp. They remember what it's like to be in their first class and to be like a little overwhelmed.
Right.
So
I think the last thing that we can kind of wrap up with, the myth that I just thought of that kind of goes full circle here, is this idea that if you do CrossFit, you have to be perfect in all regards of like food and training. And
are you perfect?
Be human? Hell no. I'm gonna probably have pizza tonight. Why not? You know what I mean?
Man.
It's have fun. Like that's the point. That's the whole. That should be the whole point. That you're going to get the best results when you have fun in class and have fun at home. Now make it. Your percentage ratio could be like 80-20, 90-10, 95.
You're talking about nutrition?
Yeah, I'm talking about like okay. If you have specific goals, then get after it. If you want to be 95-5. 95% of the time you're good, 5% you're bad, or bad, I hate that, you're bad, you're real, right? Then that's great. If you want to be 80-20, cool too.
Yeah. You got to live your life.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot
of
times.
And then don't regret it and beat yourself up.
Yes, absolutely. Just
don't
because
regret it.
You had nerds before your workout. Or
Oh, man.
yeah, or if you have Halo Top, like I had the pumpkin pie Halo Top, by the way.
How is it?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna have to get some.
Pure October magic in September.
Just your basic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so basic. So basic. No, but it's just, I don't want people
The coaches we're not perfect.
We're not.
I mean, I would say I have my treats. I don't always get 8 hours of sleep. I might have a little bit more
those
coffee.
naps are for.
The naps are helpful.
That's what they're for.
But I got to live my life, and if I'm feeling like, not even if I deserve a treat, but if I'm good and I can get back on track, it's when I get derailed and the wheels come off that I know I'm like, either I need a hard reset or I've got to be gentle with myself as I start to make the change.
Right.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah. And I think one thing that's worked for me, it might not work for you. I'm totally cool with like 30-day challenges or 30-day fixes, and I love Whole30. I stop thinking about like if you had Halo Top that you have to start over. It's already started. You were born. That's day one. You're on day whatever. You know, you're day 25 years in. You don't need a Monday. You don't need the first September
of the month.
1st. You don't need that stuff. Just start now, and it's not over if you had a slice of pizza at a birthday party. Just get back on the train.
When people,
back on the path.
Exactly. If somebody tries to take away your birthday cake, get back on track. We're not going to take those things away from you. It's when treats become a habit.
They call cheats.
Cheats, yeah. You know, I know it's my cheat day. Get back on track. Pick it back up again.
Those are bad too in terms of cheat days. I don't like scheduling your cheat meals or cheat days because then you feel like you have to do it. I quote unquote cheat. I have fun foods when I want to have fun foods. I don't go like, oh, it's Sunday, so I can cheat today. Because then what happens? You cheat just because it's your cheat day.
Then it's not even a cheat anymore. It's just now part of your routine.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of like, oh, cool, it's Sarah's birthday. We're going to go grab some sushi and after probably have some Halo Top. Yeah. Like, that's just because
it's
life. Her birthday. And it's
like, we're not going to, like I said, we're not going to take away your birthday. Yeah. If we take away your birthday.
Absolutely not. You're not going to take my Halo Top or my pizza. Try to say, oh, I don't know why he keeps doing that. Yep. I like it.
Okay.
That's fun.
All right.
Thanks. All right. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the CrossFit Bangor podcast. I hope that audio wasn't too bad for you. If there's anything you want us to talk about on the podcast or anyone you want us to interview, please let us know at zach@crossfitbangor.com and we'll try to make it happen. But until then, guys, I'll see you at the gym.